Hello and welcome into McGurk Arena. We'll have to see if fatigue plays a little bit of a role as both Central Michigan and Bowling Green were a part of a 5-set thriller last night. Jacob Tenson alongside Jackson Bickers, and Jackson, both teams, like we mentioned, 5 sets. Bowling Green gets the win. However, Central Michigan falls. How much of a role do you think fatigue is going to play?
Well, playing on back-to-back days is hard enough as it is, but with the two teams playing in 5-set matchups yesterday, it's going to be huge. And when fatigue happens, that's when mistakes start to happen. So whichever team plays cleaner today is really going to be the ones who decide and win this matchup.
It will be interesting to see how many different players we see. It was kind of a tighter lineup for CMU last night. Not a lot of players playing, not a lot of bodies on the floor. So we'll see if they get in a couple more substitutions. Again, CMU 0-3 in the MAC. All 3 of those have gone to 5 sets. So you know that's just a little disappointing for them. We mentioned it in yesterday's broadcast, just the little mistakes, the minute things. They just need to clean those up a little bit.
Yeah, we saw 15 service errors from them yesterday. When we talked to Coach Wilson, it was those exact things, those minute details. Losing all 3 conference games so far in 5 sets has to be demoralizing. But you got to come back today. You got another opportunity to right those wrongs and get in the win column.
It'll be Abby Olin to start things off, and we are underway. On quick set. Olin, good effort to get that up. Back row attack, tipped over. 2 people there, but nobody gets it up cleanly, so first point belongs to CMU.
Bowling Green with the quick set there, kind of more how CMU normally likes to play. The Chippewas are ready for it, though. Answer right back, get a point of their own.
Take a look at some of the impact players. Jessica Andrews had 16 kills. There was 3 players for Bowling Green who had 16 kills last night. And 5 aces for Taylor Kripe last night. A big momentum shift in that first set as CMU gets the second point as well.
Yeah, Kripe, she was terrific yesterday. That first set, she really took over, and that kind of set the tone for her the rest of the way. Had one of her better games so far, just as a true freshman for these Chippewas.
Just a fun server to watch as well. That one goes in the net for Abby Olin. So 2-1 Central leads. As the libero Sydney Hernandez will be back to serve. One thing to note for Bowling Green, they are without Lauren Hovey, the former MAC Player of the Year last year. Sat out yesterday as well against Eastern. Here's Kripe, an impact player, doesn't get that one down. Here's Otten now, sets up. Wapchik can't get it down. Great effort, free ball. Sorry, that was only the second hit off the block. Wapchik again. Langton. One-handed set. They get it back over again. He comes right back over. Kripe can't get it down. Otten to set it up. Quick set. Still nothing. Good rally between these 2 teams. And it will be finished off by Kendall Williams.
We thought both teams might come in a little fatigued, but right out of the gates, got back and forth. A couple long rallies. Both these teams showing up, locked in, ready to go in this first set.
So after 2 straight points for Central, it's 2 straight points for Bowling Green. Knuckleball handled well by Langton. Set up, Kripe again, push shot. No tip, so out of bounds. 3 straight points for Bowling Green. Bowling Green has not lost since 2023 on the road against MAC opponents. Kind of an insane stat.
Really is ridiculous, especially with how competitive this conference can be, the ability to go win on the road. That's why they've been so successful and have been at the top of the MAC consistently year after year.
9 straight appearances in the MAC tournament as well, the longest active streak of all teams. Izzy Schweers sends it over, short, and an ace.
Swears picking up where she left off last night against Toledo, had 13 kills and a season-high 10 digs. She was doing it on both sides of the court, offensively and defensively, and now comes out with the ace right out of the gates.
She's feeling a little bit these last 2 matches, but that time it goes into the net. And that was kind of something that really affected Central Michigan really down the stretch, was those service errors.
Yeah, it was. They had the lead over Toledo going 2-1 in that 4th set, and then the mistakes kind of started piling on, whether it was that 4th set and especially in that 5th set when points are at a premium. And if they want to win these games, especially against such a good Falcons team, they're going to have to limit those mistakes here today.
There's Bozic to send it over. Set up. Thomas, a powerful swing. Grace Thomas also an incredible game last game. 13 kills, had an ace, 4 blocks as well. And here's that power serve. Tough one to handle, but Bowling Green does well. Wapchik blocked. They set it back to her. Langton there. Set up, Mill. Raymond goes a little long. So we keep going back and forth here. Kind of what you expected. Both teams we mentioned in those 5 sets, kind of maybe a little bit fatigued. We're not really seeing it right now, though.
No, not at all right out of the gates. And you look at the two teams' records and you think maybe it shouldn't be as back and forth, but CMU, the margin of error, they've lost all these matches just by 1 set in the 5th and final set. These two teams are a lot more competitive than they might look record-wise.
Here's Mill to Raymond, blocked down and stays in. Amanda Otten, the setter there. Amanda Otten isn't your typical type of setter. She stands at 6'3". She has a decent amount of kills as well.
Yeah, she's been terrific all year for the Falcons. Coming back for her junior season, had a season high 7 kills and 15 digs last night against Eastern.
And there's a big swing from Grace Thomas again. She was kind of the strong point, the kind of go-to player when they needed this point, and does it again right there.
Yeah, anytime CMU was struggling and those mistakes kind of started to tally up and stack on top of each other, they always went back to Grace Thomas, and she was consistent answering every single time they called upon her last night.
And Otten with the trickery ties it back up, or takes the lead, 7-6. That's what you get out of an incredible setter like Amanda Otten. Preseason All-MAC team. And first in the MAC in assists per set, but that time getting the kill. Mill doing a good job of tracking that down. Swears swings away and gets the kill. Izzy Swears stays hot.
Yeah, like you said, great job there by Mill, coming out of play all the way to get to that pass and set it up right there for Swears, and she answered, putting that thing down for another kill.
2 quick kills there for Izzy Swears and an ace as well. There's Mill to serve it. Otten sets up. Hobson blocks and out. Seems like it's pretty tough for either team to rally a couple of points together. I think the most we've seen scored straight is 2.
Yeah, great defense on both sides. Both teams have tried to kind of set up their offenses, CMU with that quick pace offense, but no team has really been able to find that consistent rhythm and stack points on top of each other.
There's 2 in a row. There's Izzy Swears once again, 3 kills. They're going to her a lot. We saw a lot of the middle hitters or the middle blockers for CMU yesterday, but Izzy Swears really showing up right now.
Yeah, maybe just kind of changing what you normally do. You got the Falcons coming in, scouting you. They know that you're going to go those middle blockers. Early in this game, CMU changing it up, going to the outside a little bit more.
There's Hobson, just a touch too long. Good job by Langton to letting that go. So there's 2 straight points for somebody. CMU takes the lead with that. Here's Raymond, the jump serve. Far side, Jessica Andrews, our impact player. It goes around the post, so 3 straight points now for Central.
Chippewa starting to stack them together, starting to find that rhythm a little bit. We saw in set 1 yesterday, they started off hot. Kind of started off today a little slower, back and forth, but now starting to pick it up halfway through the set.
Tight on the net. Otten sets up to Hobson. Blocked again. They go back to her. That time gets it across, but defense is there. Into the net. Doesn't quite get over. Comes right over towards us. Point to Bowling Green.
You're seeing the blocks on both sides. Bowling Green, they're atop of the MAC in blocks per set with 2.5 a set. That's just ridiculous numbers, and that defense is why they've been so hard to beat all year.
And you can see with Jessica Andrews standing at 6'4", it's going to be hard to get around her, and they have a couple of other players that are also incredible at blocking as well, like Wilford. MAC defensive player last week had 14 blocks in those 2 games. Olin, big swing, gets it down.
You see there the vintage quick offense from the Chippewas, the quick set right to Olin, gets it down. So tough to stop when you're not really sure where that pass is going to be. Very difficult on the defense.
You know, we were watching Abby Olin in warm-ups, and it really seemed like she was really feeling the swings. There was a couple of just dynamite swings that she had, so you wonder if she's going to have a big game here today.
And sometimes just a good warm-up can just give you that confidence going into the game when you're striking it good, a lot of powerful spikes. That just translates to the game sometimes, and we've seen it translate here early.
Jessica Andrews goes off the face of Natalia Raymond. She dabs afterwards. She's just fine.
You love to see them laugh it off. Initially, you're not sure if she's okay, but she's tough. I'm sure, had plenty of those playing volleyball for so many years, a lot of tough, hard hitters. And those are just going to happen sometimes.
And nobody knows either, but she's just fine as well. But you have to appreciate how into it she is after getting hit in the face. Kendall Williams can't quite find the line. Again, Langton doing a good job of matrixing her way out of it. And now they're going to call it. It was actually tipped, so point to Bowling Green. Coach Wilson talking over with the VAR official, and we're going to get a challenge, I believe.
Yeah, it was kind of tough to see. It looked like both teams kind of thought that it was out. No one else really reacted. The referees didn't agree.
And it was initially looked like it was called to CMU. Well, let's see if it was touched. Can't quite see if the fingers of Grace Thomas went and bent back there. It's tough to see there. I don't see a touch.
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like that ball ever, the spin on it ever really changed, which is normally a key indicator of if that was touched.
But it was initially called, the actual call was that it was Bowling Green. So let's look at another angle here. Again, tough to tell there. The hand is in the area.
Like you said, tough to tell, and with the call on the court, it's kind of hard to reverse and change that when you don't really have enough evidence to see either way.
I would lean towards a no touch, but again, with that initial calling, they might just stick with Bowling Green. Jackson, again, kind of talked about Bowling Green, just their dominance on the road. It's just kind of insane to see that 12 straight wins on the road in MAC play.
Yeah, that's been terrific, and they've won 6 of their last 7 here in Mount Pleasant, a place where CMU has had a lot of success in conference play. 8-1 last season here at McGurk Arena in the MAC. That's why you're such a good team. Good team, solid teams can win at home, but great teams are the ones that can go on the road into other teams' places and take it over and get victories.
They've been playing pretty well so far. They got off to a little, I guess I won't say that either team is necessarily looking dominant over the other one, but just kind of seems a little bit of a slower start. And I guess one other little fact we can throw in there is Bowling Green in these brown jerseys, they are 0-2, so there's a couple of things colliding there.
Yeah, you got them always winning on the road in conference play, the jerseys that they haven't had a lot of success in this year, so something's got to give here today.
Looks like we have a ruling on this one, and it will stick with Bowling Green. So I'm guessing that it just, since that was the initial call, they're just going to stick with it. CMU's coaches, especially Erica Stahl, are pretty surprised there on that call. Just can't really believe that, especially since they're right there.
For sure. They're just as close as any other referee, so they got the same opinion as them.
But Bowling Green has it, so they're down just 1 here in the first set. Hernandez sends it over. Langton, then Thomas, a quick hit, sends it right back over. But Wawczyk finds an opening.
Wawczyk had another amazing night last night against Eastern, a season-high 16 kills, adding on to before, which was her season high of 12 kills the game before against Kent State.
Yeah, so she's kind of found her footing a little bit, just a redshirt sophomore here for Bowling Green. It just kind of seems like she's more of a focal point for him right now. Here's Swears is the focal point for CMU. Goes into the net and finds its way down, her 4th kill.
For Swears yesterday, we didn't really see her get a whole lot of kills in that first set. It kind of took some time, the second, third, fourth, fifth set. The rest of the game, she took over right out of the gates here. Coach Wilson making her a focal point in the offense.
Here's on going to Andrews, and that's hard to stop. Jessica Andrews was efficient with her 16 kills last night, hitting over 400. Also hit her 500th career kill last night as well.
Yeah, been doing it a long time for the Falcons, and just the consistency. That's how you get to the 500 kill mark. You keep getting those opportunities because every time the ball goes your way, you're getting kills, getting it down, and just being reliable for your team.
And Thomas with a big-time answer. Grace Thomas, all 3 of her kills have just been electric so far.
We're seeing the power on both sides now. Both offenses kind of starting to find a rhythm as this first set's picked up. And just back and forth action consistently between these two teams.
And we're tied right back up after the service error there from Kripe. We mentioned she had 5 aces, and with the serve going as fast as it can, I know I wouldn't want to get in the way of that.
No, not at all. That's why she's been so great with the aces consistently. In her debut, first game as a freshman, had 6 aces. That's still her season high so far in the year.
See if the serving picks up, but here's Thomas trying to get her 4th, can't get that kill down. Hobson swings away, just finds the line. So 15-14, Bowling Green leads. We keep going back and forth. We'll be back with the rest of set 1 here on
Welcome back on ESPN Plus. Central Michigan is down 15-14 to Bowling Green. This is me pre-game, just sitting, minding my own business. Balls coming everywhere consistently during warm-ups. Got drilled in the top of the head waiting, but there, totally redeemed myself. Good hands, quick hands there. But that kind of ties us into the Bickers breakdown. My keys for today's game for CMU: limit the free points and finish strong. They really struggled yesterday with those service errors as they consistently piled up. And like we said, losing all 3 conference games in 5 sets, they just haven't really been able to finish games. But for the Falcons, they have really been able to spread the wealth around. They got to stay just consistent and share the wealth. We talked to Coach Del Piombo earlier this week, and she said that she wants them to out-team teams, wants them to be consistent, and that's how they're going to beat other teams.
And the consistency, the spreading the wealth there. They go to Hobson that time. And it was a great breakdown of you getting hit in the head a couple of times, in the chest, and then you redeemed yourself finally with the catch.
Had to redeem myself. Was just trying to review the notes, get ready for today's game. Had volleyballs coming everywhere.
It's a danger zone up here. But BGSU takes the 1-point lead there off the Hobson kill, 16-15. Tabak, first time we're seeing her, sends it over. Swears trying to stay hot, but dug up that time by Anders. And then a big block there from Keelan Mill. Don't see a lot of those from her.
No, not at all, but stepping up right there, jumping up, getting the block, huge. Kind of scripts flipped a little bit. We saw it yesterday in the game Toledo and CMU, that CMU was coming with the aces when Toledo is one of the best teams in the MAC in that category. The Falcons, they're one of the best teams in the MAC in blocks, and we've seen CMU get a couple blocks today so far.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how it plays out a little differently. You're expecting that from one team, and you get it from the other. Mill, after that block, though, just goes a little bit short on the serve. Here's Amanda Ottenbach serving. Again, just the incredible setter. That's a fun little fact. She owns her own little bakery that she cooks for or bakes for people. And that one, a powerful swing there from Andrews, goes into the crowd. But again, Amanda Otten, Mandy's Candies, high praise from Coach Del Bianco, especially on her cream cheese brownies.
Need them to bring some here today.
Right.
I could have tried one.
They sound delicious. Owen finds the opening there. CMU trails by just 1 after that.
We're seeing the Chippewas now start to spread the ball around a little bit. We saw Swears come right out of the gates with those 4 kills. Now Owen's getting out there. Thomas, Mill, the kills in the ball is starting to find other people. Kind of what the Falcons have been so good at this year, spreading the wealth. CMU coming with it today.
And Taylor Kripe hits that one in the net, and you kind of want to see Taylor get going a little bit. He had such a great start to that match against Toledo. Had 11 kills, 11 digs, and then those 5 aces, but just haven't seen much from her right now. Bowling Green leads 19-17. Hobson sends it over. Knuckleball goes a little long. It's the second service error there from Bowling Green, so they've been keeping it pretty clean so far. Only 3 hitting errors as well. Owen back to serve. She sends it over. Hobson's there. Otten. Andrews. And down again. Jessica Andrews getting it done. Her 4th kill.
Picking up right where she left off. She's been the go-to so far early just because of her reliability. We talked about her efficiency, and that same thing is stuck with it so far in this first set.
Yeah, perfect 4 for 4 right now in her kills and attacks. Kripe goes a tip shot that time. Here's Hernandez, sets it up. Slavchik off the block. It's going to go over and out. Point to CMU. Swears back to serve. Already has an ace today. Also a service error. Also leads with 4 kills for her Chippewas. Otten, Slavchik, 2-handed hit, and it goes off the post, so it's tied up now at 20 apiece.
Chippewas starting to get a little bit of momentum. Fell behind in the middle of this first set. Now have stacked a couple points on top of each other, and in the big moments where only 5 more points to win this set.
We'll see who can rally a couple points here together. Otten sets up. Andrews again, trying to stay perfect, and she does. 5 for 5. 5 kills there. It's incredible efficiency.
That's why she was all MAC first team last season, just because of those numbers, the efficiency, just being old reliable for Coach Del Piombo and this Falcons team.
Normally she gets into the scores column with blocks as well. Had 9 blocks last weekend, but she's getting it done and swinging it right now. Bozic back to serve. Sends it over. Langton handles it well. Thomas, push shot, finds the ground. Grace Thomas also playing incredibly efficient as well.
Yeah, we've seen her with a couple of those powerful spikes, those powerful shots. Now a little push shot, throwing off the Falcon defense, just changing it up.
And here comes the powerful serve of Taylor Kripe. That one clips the net. Tipped over, heads up play there from Amanda Otten.
Otten, one of the best setters in the MAC, second in the MAC with assists per set, averaging almost 10. Changes it up there. That CMU defense expecting her to set up one of her teammates, just tosses it over and gets a kill.
And when you see that somebody leads the MAC in assists per set, you almost assume that you're going to set it every single time. So just throwing them off there, incredible effort from CMU to even get that over. Otten sets up this time. Hobson goes straight down. 2-point lead for Bowling Green. That's going to force a timeout from Coach Ariel Wilson. But Bowling Green, they just kind of seem like they're just barely keeping in the lead. They're able to just kind of find the answer every time that CMU tries to chip their way back into it.
Yeah, it's been consistently back and forth just ever since the Chippewas fell down in the middle of this first set. They haven't been able to really tie it up or get back ahead. Bowling Green just kind of keeping that lead, pushing them away every time they get close enough, and now just outlasting them so far in this first set.
Take a look about how efficient Jessica Andrews has been. You see just the powerful swings that she has. It's just so hard to defend.
Yeah, so difficult on a defense when those powerful swings are on target almost every time, and they have been on target every time today, and we've seen how effective she can be, especially in this first set.
Again, Jessica Andrews, she stands at 6'4", so when you're on the outside, you're normally facing people who are about 6'1", so just has that big size advantage over them as well.
Yeah, very difficult when got that size advantage. Someone so tall and so just imposing, especially when you got that powerful spike coming down at you. That's tough as a defender to even get your body in front of it and just try and get any contact on it.
She is listed as a middle blocker, but all of her kills so far have come from that outside the far side so far. Back underway here. Bowling Green looking to push 2 more points to take set 1. Central trying to set up the offense to prevent it, and there it is from Thomas. Look at that emotion from Grace Thomas after that one. Just another powerful swing from her.
Talk about Jessica Andrews' efficiency. Well, Grace Thomas has been nearly just as efficient, tallying her 5th kill of this first set.
Andrews and Thomas tied for the most kills in this match with 5. And again, Amanda Otten with the trickery.
And you saw the smile on her face right after. She knew that whole Chippewa defense was expecting her to set it up, just tosses it over, and takes advantage once again.
Definitely got to expect Coach Ariel Wilson to kind of preach that in this next set, just to be more aware of that. That's the second time she's done that. Here's Tabak, the lefty. Just barely goes over. Sent right back over after a kind of a quick hit. Hobson flanked in there, tight on the net, swung away and down. Bowling Green takes set 1. Set 1 belongs to Bowling Green. Efficiency from Jessica Andrews. We'll have to see who steps up on either side.
Del Piombo is in her first season as the head coach. However, the Bowling Green volleyball program is no stranger to her. She spent 9 seasons with the program as both the associate and assistant head coach, and one thing truly stands out about her time there. In her 9 seasons, they've only had 1 true transfer, which is crazy because if you know anything about today's day and age, the transfer portal is very common. common for these college athletes to enter just to see what offers might be out there. However, that's not a problem for Bowling Green. They truly have that team loyalty, and when you have a couple players stick around, it really helps the communication, the trust, and the overall fluidity of the team out on the court. We truly saw some chemistry between Bowling Green and their players in the last set, and that's going to help them have that step up in today's match.
We definitely did see that chemistry a lot, but I think a lot of what helps them to stay is a lot of the winning helps as well.
For sure, and that consistency between players has got to help to that winning. That's why they've been able to win so consistently, and that mindset of out-teaming teams and just using your whole squad, using every girl on the roster to be able to help you guys and improve your points, your record. That's what keeps the girls around.
Yeah, it really is just crazy that there's only been one true transfer throughout her time period there, being there for 9 seasons. Like Christina said, it's just really not that common nowadays. So again, set 1 went to Bowling Green 25-22. Bowling Green will start off serving in the second set. Hobson sends it over. She tight on the net for Mill. She dunks it over. Otten's there. Far side, Botswapchik blocked. Quick set and blocked again. Thomas with the stare down.
Thomas stepping up on both ends. She's been consistently getting kills in that first set. Now comes back with that block, taking a page out of the Falcons book with another one of those blocks.
And Thomas was getting in the scores column with the kills, and now with the block, solo one by her there. Kripe with not the aggressive serve we typically see from her, but gets it over nonetheless. Mill, Thomas again, tip shot this time, and no matter what, it's still working for her.
She's just been everywhere, just so consistent. We saw it yesterday, comes into today with that same consistency. She's been so reliable for first-year head coach Ariel Wilson. And that's got to be just such a good feeling to have a player that you can consistently go to in big moments.
Now on the all-MAC freshman team and the second team, and another block. Thomas and Raymond teaming up over that one.
Great response by the Chippewas coming after that first set where they really couldn't ever get too close to the Falcons late in the set, coming straight out here in set 2 with 3 points of their own.
And they were finally able to get Jessica Andrews to not get a kill on a swing attempt. Mill tight on the net. Great set to even not touch the net. And here's Andrews. That time, the foot volley gets it over. And a big swing, Botswapchik finishes it off.
Great effort there by Raymond, kicking the ball up, keeping that alive, but the Falcons come right back and just get a kill of their own, getting their first point of this set.
And asking for a double hit there off that last hit there. There's 2 CMU players there, but they get the point anyways, and more of a momentum shift with that big swing from Botswapchik. And then they give the momentum right back with the service error.
And those are the errors that we've seen the Chippewas make. The Falcons have really been consistent, but we see another error from them. The service error is pretty even. 3 for Bowling Green, 4 for CMU.
Now both teams, I was just going to say, both teams have been playing pretty well, except for now the last 2 back-to-back service errors. Kind of saw that a lot in the matchup yesterday between CMU and Toledo. A lot of errors going back and forth, but both teams hit right around 300 in that first set, so both teams pretty efficient in getting the offense going.
We talked about how that fatigue could maybe play a role in this game, getting a little sloppy, errors piling on top of each other, but we've seen both these teams come out today locked in and being efficient so far.
Swears just missing, so the 3rd straight error, asking for a touch, but they're not going to get it. We might get another challenge here from Ariel Wilson, and we will. CMU start off with 3 straight points, and as it stands right now, Bowling Green has trimmed that back down to just 1. We'll have to see if that does end up upholding with that ruling going to Bowling Green once again.
Yeah, we've seen just consistently both these teams back and forth action so far today. And just 2 very good teams playing today. That's what you're going to get. Very tough to beat on both sides as we get another look at that last hit.
Swears right there. It does kind of look like it maybe went over the hands there, but they were instantly calling for it.
Yeah, you think that when you're instantly calling for it that they had to have seen something, but once again with the call on the court being that it wasn't touched, it's kind of tough to overturn that.
Again, it's already the second challenge that Coach Ariel Wilson has challenged. She lost the first one, and the initial call was to Bowling Green. And again, this one, initial ruling is to Bowling Green. So, again, kind of looking similar to that first one. It's kind of tough to tell there, so we won't be surprised if it ends up sticking with BG.
You don't hate the challenge, though. You come out straight with that 3-point lead, and the Falcons starting to build some momentum, coming back, cutting the deficit to 1. This challenge can maybe flip it back and give some confidence to those girls on the Chippewa side.
And it also maybe serves as a little bit of a timeout. You kind of mentioned CMU got off to that hot start. Bowling Green makes themselves a way back. So maybe just a little bit of a timeout as well, too, for Coach Wilson.
For sure, and just kind of talking and figuring out what the Falcons are doing. Both teams have kind of changed the norm of what they've been doing coming into this game. We've seen Amanda Otten consistently not setting passes, just tossing it over the net. And then on offense for CMU, going to Grace Thomas a lot more consistently, a little different than the way they started off yesterday.
I'm sorry, I was trying to listen to what you were saying, but I was distracted by the limbo.
No, you're all good. That's pretty good. I couldn't get that low.
Connor was trying, and she was complaining that he kept lowering it, but when we were standing at 6'4", it's hard to get down that low.
For sure.
Almost. That was very close. Rainey Wademan trying her best to get underneath the limbo. Looks like we have a call here, and it will stick with Bowling Green again. I see a little bit of frustration there from the coaching staff of CMU after that's now 2 calls that they kind of thought should have gone their way and didn't.
Yeah, you got to understand the frustration, too. When you're that close and you're just so convinced that that ball was touched and you feel like that's what the challenge is for, to look at it and change the call, but the call doesn't go your way, unfortunately.
Bowling Green just down 1 after giving up 3 straight points. Here comes CMU's offense. Schweers into the net. Bowling Green ties it up. It's kind of back to what we were kind of seeing in that first set, just the back and forth action. Neither team really able to kind of get off to a big lead. We did see CMU got that 3-point lead, but just right back is Bowling Green. Owen tips it over. Tipped around and eventually finds the ground. Abby Olin, another kill.
Olin starting to tack on some kills. That's her 3rd kill of the game, and once again, efficiency. We've seen it out of both sides. Both teams have been so efficient coming into this game, which was maybe a bit of a surprise that we thought maybe pre-game they could struggle a little bit.
And there's the trickeration of Amanda Otten again. She's going to be efficient as well. Her 4th kill already.
And we saw her do that a little more last night. Had a season-high 7 kills versus Eastern Michigan. Just kind of flipping the script. Other teams maybe game planning, knowing that she's going to set a lot more passes than she's going to throw over, and now changing that up here the last 2 days.
And not only the 7 kills, 48 assists, and 15 digs. She just plays all around, and finding it just inbounds is Avery Hobson.
Hobson, no slouch herself, with MAC Offensive Player of the Week back on September 15th. Had a season-high 13 digs yesterday against Eastern.
A nice little double-double from her. A couple of Bowling Green players getting a double-double. Here's Swears, big swing, and off of Hernandez. CMU ties it back up. Again, we saw Swears get off to that hot start, but not much of a factor as of late, but finally getting back into the kill column. Has 5 on the night. In the afternoon, I should say. Hobson trying to get another kill. Can't that time. Otten goes a little bit too far. The trickeration no good that time.
Yeah, maybe just went back to the well one too many times. Just tossed it a little too far out right. And CMU was in a lot better position that time, ready for Amanda Otten to just toss that over the net.
You see a lot more players up tight in that 10-foot area. Is that one just barely missing the line again? They're flirting with the line right there. They just can't quite find it.
Just a little off, and the Chippewas making good decisions and good reads to be able to realize that that ball's going to be out and not making contact.
Freeman, nice serve, gets him out of position a little bit. Hobson swings away. Great dig there from Langton. Back row attack from Raymond. Tipped up, miscommunication, and a kill for Natalia.
That's why Langton's out there. A great dig, had a season-high 15 digs yesterday versus Toledo, and just sets up that Chippewa offense to get that point. And now you're starting to feel them tally on a couple points on top of each other.
It was tied at 6 apiece. They were down 5-6, so 4 straight points for CMU. Langton setting up Swears. Blocked. Swears is there, though. Set up. They go to her again. Tip shot. She wasn't quite ready for it. Otten, back row attack. Bozic goes long. So now 5 straight points for CMU. They're on a little bit of a roll.
And like we mentioned, that review for Central Michigan could have used as a sort of timeout, and we've seen them ever since that challenge come out and really have dominated this second set.
Raymond, another good serve. Otten there to get it up. Bozic, back row attack. That time she finds it. Bozic not typically in the kill column too much. Only 3 kills on the season, at her 4th. Here's Kendall Williams back to serve. Freshman sends it over, and that one just finds the line. Raymond thought that was going to go long.
Yeah, we've talked about how good Central Michigan's been able to read some of those serves and tosses over the net. Just missed that one, and that one stays in for 2 points in a row for Bowling Green.
Yeah, CMU got those 5 straight. Bowling Green gets back with a little bit of an answer themselves. But Coach Williams calling that timeout. We're going to step aside as well. We'll be back with the rest of set 2 here on ESPN+. Welcome you back into McGurk Arena. Just a second home game here for CMU. Dropped that first set, but looking strong here in set 2.
Yeah, like you said, second home game coming off. First home game yesterday. 5 weeks straight on the road for the Chippewas. Got to be a great feeling coming back here in Mount Pleasant. Now just looking for that first conference win of the year.
That one again going a little bit along, so a couple of errors there for CMU. Let's Bowling Green right back into it. They got up to that 10-6 lead, but now Bowling Green able to answer right back.
These are the kind of things that CMU's just kind of struggled with this year. Against a great team in Bowling Green, when you get those multi-point leads, you can't let them back into it with some of these errors that have happened on the last couple of sets.
And that's who you like to see get going is Taylor Kripe. Haven't seen her much in anything. Finally gets another kill. I believe that's her first kill of the night. See if that gets her going a little bit as Olin sends it over. Gets Bowling Green out of position. Hobson swings away. Olin there. Mill, far side. Swears hits it. Set up. Gonna be tight on the net. Battle at the net. Won initially by Bowling Green, but we're still playing. Swears swings down the line and in.
We saw Swears go a little quiet late in that first set, early in the second set after having 4 kills right out of the gates. Now back-to-back, not back-to-back kills, but 2 kills in the second set to kind of get back into her rhythm.
Now tied for CMU with the lead in kills at 6. Here's Mill to set her back up again. Rolled off the tape. Great effort there from Bowling Green. Anders hits the floor. Kripe can't get it to go over. And you hear Bowling Green go crazy after that.
Yeah, when you have that type of effort and you get the save and end up stealing that point for the Falcons, those are the type of plays that just gets the energy going and builds your confidence and gets momentum back on your side.
Just incredible effort there from Anders. Almost ran into the scorer's table right in front of us. Otten sends it over. Langton off the net. Great effort. Christina almost catches it.
Good serve there by Otten. Really, really tough for CMU to be able to get a hand on it and set up a good offensive possession. And we saw that ball just went way out of play.
You see Christina drop it on there too. Saying she should have set it back up, try to get back on the side of the CMU. Right off the block and down Andrews. There's a block from her.
There comes the Falcons blocks. Like we said, first in the MAC in blocks per set. We haven't seen a whole lot of that so far, but right there we see it. 2 players jumping up, and you just got no shot when you're trying to send that over.
You kind of see a little bit of frustration settling in for Taylor Kripe. You mentioned how great of a game she had yesterday, but just hasn't quite found it here today as that one goes long. CMU's a little bit of a struggle right now.
Yeah, and it's tough as a freshman when you have some success, and then you're also going to have some lulls where maybe things aren't going your way, but that's where kind of experience, as you learn and you play more games, you'll be able to stay a little more level-headed and stay a little bit more consistent.
This also just shows how great of a team Bowling Green is as Grace Thomas finds the line and down, ties it back up.
We've said it before, every time CMU starts to falter, another team like Bowling Green tailing points on top of each other, Grace Thomas is always the go-to right after it, and she is so reliable, gets a kill right there.
Andrews trying to find an answer, goes a little bit long, no touch, so CMU recaptures the lead. We saw Andrews was 5 for 5 in her attacks, and now just 5 for 8, 3 straight misses for her.
And you have to think that head coach Ariel Wilson in those timeouts and those breaks was really stressing that they had to get her off a rhythm and couldn't allow her to be so efficient.
They've been doing that so far in this set. Again, going long, no touch, so point belongs to CMU. We might get a challenge here from Coach Del Piombo. Talking over with their players, and it looks like we will indeed get a challenge.
Yeah, it looked like she walked over, just asked, like, you sure that was touch? And wait, when your players tell you something and you got a lot of trust in your players, and we've seen the only one transfer the whole time she's been here, when that type of trust is within your team and within your program, then you're able to challenge those type of calls.
You talk about that trust. You did see her. You just asking Avery Hobson, was that touch? Should I challenge that? And immediately went straight for that challenge. So just great coach-player relationship. I mean, you definitely build that when you're there for 9 years.
For sure. That's great. You know, when you lose your head coach, most of the time, kind of coach comes from out of the program, but having that consistency with an assistant coach coming in is huge.
It looks like the fingers bend back there. Can't tell what CMU player is over there right now, but it looks like those fingers bend back a little bit. So I think that might be a good challenge from Coach Del Piombo. Keelan Mill that was over there. Now we got the bicycle going over there.
You know, just trying to keep active during some of these breaks, keep the energy going on the bench. You love to see it from CMU.
We saw this. We see this all the time in the timeouts, especially last year. We didn't see a lot of that yesterday, but we just love to see those bench antics in these little timeouts, these little breaks. Again, just taking their time here, making sure they get the right call. But again, it looked like those fingers bent back on Keelan Mill. So it stands right now with a 2-point lead for Central, but might flip to a tie ball game.
Yeah, and if it does flip for Bowling Green, that's 3 challenges that have gone their way. Just had the luck of the draw so far. It looks like it could be a good challenge from Coach.
It looks like we have a decision here from the official. Like on the scores table, no. And it is going to stick with Central, so I guess I'm wrong on that one. Hand up.
Just been consistent, not being able to have enough evidence to overturn anything. Point goes to CMU. They might have caught a break there, and they go out to a 2-point lead.
And especially at this point in the set, after losing the first one, right about 15 points halfway through here. It's a big pivotal point for the Chippewas. Swears will send it over. Hobson's there. Otten. Andrews mistimed her jump a little bit. Mill sets up. Thomas wasn't there, but almost gets the kill. Be free ball over from Anders. Mill to Thomas again. Anders is there again. Quick set and down. Amanda Otten showing why she leads the MAC in assists per set.
Saw the Chippewas kind of scrambling a bit there. Never felt like they really got in a good position to set up their own offense. And Bowling Green takes advantage, answers back after the failed challenge with a point of their own.
Hannah Wilford, her third kill there. Kind of a quiet 3 kills. Second on the team, or tied for third, I should say, on the team in kills, and a big block from Thomas and Mill. Trying to go to Wawczyk. And Thomas again, just doing it all right now. 9.5 points for her. Kripe, again, not going with that power serve this time. Wawczyk swings away and off of Langton's arm into the crowd of BG.
Yeah, really no chance there from Langton to even get a good dig on that. Wawczyk just so good, and that's why she's been so consistent in the kill column.
Again, had 16 kills yesterday, 2 blocks as well. There was 3 Falcons with 16 kills. Schweers swings away. Miscommunication, Andrews and Otten weren't sure who was going for it.
We've seen it a couple times on the Falcons side. Miscommunication that's led to some CMU points, and the Chippewas taking advantage.
So Schweers now ties Grace Thomas back up with 7 kills apiece. Team and match lead. Wawczyk, another great swing. Back and forth we go. Nobody wants to give up this second set. And another great set there from Amanda Otten. Up to 15 assists in this one. There's Bozic, the freshman. Sends it over. Langton. Now Mill. Raymond can't quite get it over the net. Trying to get a little cute with it.
We've seen Raymond a couple times struggling to get it over the net. Those are the errors that hurt you if you're CMU. Bowling Green battling back, tied at 17.
And it's Bozic. International player from Serbia sends it over. Mill doing a great job of trying to get that over, but it goes out of bounds, so an ace there from Bozic.
Like you said, Bozic from Serbia actually played professionally in the Serbian and Bosnian top league, so a great player here in Bowling Green.
And getting plenty of minutes here as a freshman, so you just anticipate her developing into an even greater role as Raymond gets a kill. So again, tied up. We just keep going back and forth. Every time somebody rallies off a couple points, the other team answers right back. Mill back to serve, sends it over. Hobson, not the cleanest of hits, but free ball over there from Bozic. Mill, Owen a little tall for her, but gets it over. Back row attack from Hobson, nearly gets it down. Schweers swings away. No tip and out of bounds, so BG recaptures the lead.
Seeing great effort on both sides. Tough digs on both ends, just saving balls. Not really either offense being able to get themselves quality looks, quality possessions. Just competitive volleyball on both sides right now.
We saw the efficiency from both teams in the first set, and it's been pretty much the opposite. A lot of errors this time in this set. That one was touched, so point to BG. Great job of the libero Hernandez setting up to Hobson. Saunders again to serve with now a 2-point lead for Bowling Green. Mill will set up. Swears again is blocked, but gets down. Izzy Swears up to 8 kills now.
Just been so consistent yesterday and today, getting their 4th kill of this set, 8th kill in total.
And they've gone to her a lot. 19 total attacks for her. Like you said, with those 8 kills, she's been paying it off. Mill, they go to her again. That time she just misses the line. She's really been hunting for that line. She's been able to find it a couple times, but that time unsuccessful.
Yeah, not a lot of room there. Had two Bowling Green defenders in the front line jumping up, had the libero in the back. Not a lot of room to get that ball down. Just missed outside that line.
Sydney Hernandez doing a good job of watching that one go. So here's Tabak, sends it over. Swears will swing away, gets it over. Tabak there. Back row attack from Bozic. Mill to Kripe off the block. Tabak pancakes it, but it gets down eventually. 1 point lead here now just for BG. So again, we kind of mentioned that both teams went into 5 sets yesterday. Bowling Green coming away with the win. CMU ended up losing that one. And it just kind of a little bit seemed the fatigue a little bit more in this set. As we get another error there, I was just going to say the errors just seem to keep piling up for both teams.
Yeah, we've seen as the game's gone on, a little fatigue, just a little tiredness. Errors have become a lot more frequent. And it's going to be all about what team can settle in and just play consistent and go back to the efficiency that they had in that first set.
Big swing there from Hobson. She wasn't showing fatigue on that one. A great effort there from Raymond to even get a foot on that, but sent straight down. Bowling Green recaptures the lead. You see the little swag walk there from Amanda Otten afterwards. Obviously the setter, but up to 5 kills. Tied for second on the team. Mill sets up. Kripe, push shot, blocked, but out. Point to CMU.
We haven't really seen Bowling Green be able to get all those blocks that they normally have. Every time they make contact, it's either went out of bounds. Just really hasn't been able to take advantage of what they normally have been able to do. CMU doing a great job offensively.
Yeah, only 4 blocks there for Bowling Green here tonight. Swing away and blocked down by CMU. They're 9th. And that's going to force a timeout off an electric block. The pairing of Mill and Grace Thomas.
And we've seen those two many times up front so far today, causing some havoc for Bowling Green, both going up, blocking shots consistently in these first 2 sets.
Thomas is up to 5 blocks, 4 block assists, and 1 solo block. Go along with 7 kills as well, so just playing a great all-around game is Thomas. And with that block, they recapture the lead. Let's take a look at some of those plays by Grace Thomas. See the finesse right there, but it's been a lot of power from her throughout this one.
And a lot of outside looks, which we normally haven't seen from Grace Thomas, normally playing in the middle. Bit of a different look for CMU, but it's worked out for the Chippewas, and they've had a lot of success when they've consistently gone to her.
And she's just so good at throwing or switching it up between those soft hits, those hard hits, and then also just getting it done in the blocking category as well. You see that aggressive swing from Grace Thomas. It's so satisfying when they do those little swing shots. They get out there and you just see the power that they produce from those.
And those are the plays that gets momentum on your side, gets the energy. You can feel it, the excitement when those powerful shots land and you get those kills. That's when you can start to tally on some more points right on top of each other.
So we'll see if CMU can go to Grace Thomas here a couple more times to finish off this second set and tie it up at 1 apiece. Or will Bowling Green be able to run off 3 straight points? Swears sends it over. Gets them out of position a little bit. Hobson from the back row and touched and down. Fortunate play there from Bowling Green and a little bit of a frustration play there from CMU.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas just didn't get a great touch on it. Just went past over her head, Langton behind her, couldn't get to it, and a point goes for Bowling Green to tie it up.
It's one you kind of want to see Grace Thomas just let it go because it looked like both Raymond and Langton were there and ready for that one. We're tied. Who's going to score 2 points first? Swears swings away, goes out. So set point for Bowling Green. Looking to take that 2-0 set lead. Hobson sends it over. Knuckleball handled. Mill to Thomas. Big swing. Kripe is there. They go back to Thomas. Touch shot. On to Andrews. Gets it down. Big swing from Jessica Andrews. Only fitting that she finishes it off as Bowling Green now leads 2-0. We'll be back with the third set on ESPN+. Bowling Green leading it 2-0, and one of those players that's been playing well for Bowling Green has been Avery Hobson. 7 kills, coming out fresh off a night with 16 kills and 13 digs.
She's been terrific, and that's why we've already seen her this year earn a MAC Offensive Player of the Week honor. Been a great go-to today for the Falcons.
Again, just incredibly efficient for Bowling Green. And then on the other side for the Chippewas, Izzy Schweers had a great game, or great match last night, answering up with 8 kills, leading the way for the Chippewas.
Like you said, a great match last night, tallying 8 kills today, 4 kills in each set. Just been so consistent for CMU and a great go-to for the Chippewas.
And they've been going to her a lot, 23 total attacks for her so far. We're going to step aside here again. We'll hear from Christina Fusco when we get back.
The Falcons roster has 8 international players this season, which is the most by far in the MAC this year. You know, they have players from Canada, Poland, the Czech Republic, Serbia, and even Croatia. It's really sought after by these coaches to bring on these international players, because not only do they bring on diverse perspectives, but they also bring new playing styles to the team. It brings them success in the long run, and I mean, hey, we've already seen 4 of those 8 producing in today's match.
We've seen a lot of those international players, and like you mentioned, it does bring a different little style to this Bowling Green team, and part of the reason they've been so successful.
Yeah, the way they've been so successful is the variety. They're able to go to different players in those different styles, being able to mix and match together to create a winning formula for them.
So again, Bowling Green took the first two sets. They were both tight. 25-22 the first one, 25-23 in the second one. We'll have to see what set three brings. Will CMU be able to prevent the sweep, or will Bowling Green be able to finish off and get off to another great start in the MAC, being 4-0, either fifth time in the last 6 seasons if they're able to do so.
And one of the consistent things we've seen with the CMU team, just not being able to finish, we've seen both sets be decided by 3 points or less. Chippewas just struggled closing out sets, and now they've put themselves in a hole that they got to work out of.
And Easy Swears will start it off for us in set three. Thomas swings away and too far. That's one you normally see Grace Thomas punish it right into the ground.
Yeah, been so consistent today. One of the rare miscues from Grace Thomas going up, just a little too much heat on that one, goes a little long.
You kind of see her jump backwards a little bit instead of just straight up. Kind of was leaning back a little bit too much, so that was why it went a little long. Swears back row attack. Man not in there. Here's Wobchik off the block. Now Thomas again. And it goes underneath the net. Izzy Schweers trying to get that back up. A big block there from Bowling Green.
We've seen CMU dominate the block category. Very surprising coming into the game with Bowling Green being at the top of the MAC in blocks. Get their third, though, there to get 2 points right out of the gates in this third set.
You kind of see the momentum riding with Bowling Green after that tight set 2 victory. Again, going long, but that time it's touched. Kind of the break that CMU needs. I don't think they would have went long even if it wasn't touched. So fortunate there for the Chippewas as here comes Taylor Craig back with the powerful serve. Just missing the line, though. You can see the frustration on her face after that one.
Those are the ones that hurt. You fall behind, you come back with a point of your own to make it a 1-point game, and those service errors, those free points, and against a Bowling Green team that's so good and so consistent, those free points are really going to hurt you later in this game.
Again, CMU just needs to find a way to force a fourth set here. But starting off a little sloppy in the third set. Off the block and down this time, though. Good response.
That's what you like to see from CMU. You can't have those mistakes start to add on top of each other. If you make one, that's okay. You're going to have to live with it, but you got to come back with a point or some sort of consistency right after that.
See if they can get 2 in a row. That's Wobchik off the attack. Tipped over by Mill and down. Doing the Amanda Otten special.
Yeah, like you said, we've seen Amanda Otten really go to that Mill that time. Looking like she was going to set it up, just tosses it right over and steals a point for CMU.
It almost looked like it was almost her only play there, just backpedaling a little bit too much and wasn't really going to get a good hit on it anyways. Here's Mill, Swears. Light hit. Now Otten tries to tip it back over, gets the answer, but blocked instead. They were ready for it that time.
Chippewas have done a lot better of a job against Amanda Otten on those tosses over. When it looks like she's going to set it and she goes over, they've had people there. They've had defenders there. After that first set where she had a lot of success, CMU's made an adjustment.
Here's Hobson. They haven't made the adjustment on her. Now 8 kills for Avery Hobson. We're tied up at 4 apiece. Again, we just continue to go back and forth. Even though CMU's lost both sets, they've been right in it with just that finishing point. They just can't seem to quite get over the hump. Here's Anders back to set it over. Raymond on the far side. Can't quite find the line, asking for a touch. Not going to get it that time. Ariel Wilson standing up and going straight for the challenge. A quick look here at this one. And it went right in between both of those blockers. We won't actually get a challenge. They thought about it, but decide against it this time. Anders sends it back over. Quick set. Owen tips it over. Hobson, or Otten. In the middle and down, but almost. Bozic gets it up. Langton there. Mill, back row attack for Swears. Nice little rally here between these two teams. Another back row attack. That one goes long for Bozic.
Great rally back and forth from both teams, just not trying to give an inch. We're seeing the competitiveness come out between these two teams. Just two tough sets before. Now in this third set, back and forth action once again.
Great communication there from the CMU bench. It looked like Kripe was going to go for that one, but holds back those arms at the last second. Swears trying to stay hot. Great effort from both Bozic and Hernandez. They get that up somehow. Olin, big swing, finds the line. CMU takes the lead.
Both teams putting bodies on the line. You got Bowling Green with Hernandez diving for that one. Just an unbelievable job, but CMU responds right back, getting a kill of their own.
When you get those incredible defensive plays, it gets the defense out of position a little bit as Mills sends it into the net. So kind of a big reason why Olin maybe decided to go long and in that corner because nobody was there.
For sure, yeah. When you're diving, just people out of position, you're just so chaos is going on. You're just trying to get the ball over the net. And CMU did a great job of taking advantage of it.
But then they give that point right back, but then the point is returned again with the service error. This is kind of what we saw against Toledo between these two teams, just trading service errors, and now those service errors counting up a little bit. 4 for Bowling Green, 7 for CMU. Here's Raymond. He gets that one over this time. Hobson swinging away, tipped over. Great effort from both Mill and Langton. Almost getting the kill. Great effort from Hernandez that time. Hobson swings, and it finds the ground. Hernandez has to get credit for that one.
Both sides just playing hard. Great effort. Seeing the competitiveness volleyball. Great volleyball going on both sides. And still tied at 7. Just neither team wants to give an inch here.
Again, just early on in all of these sets, it's been super close, and then Bowling Green just finds a way, and they're able to finish it out. But like you mentioned, just going back and forth, both teams making incredible efforts defensively. The offense is kind of lowered a little bit as far as efficiency, but the defense has really stepped up.
And you would have expected that, so maybe some more errors with the just fatigue that both these two teams have had, but the effort that both teams are showing on the defensive end doesn't look like they're as fatigued as we might have thought.
Owen, big swing, and that time she can't quite find the line, trying to find that same spot she found earlier. Trying to go for that quick offense. We haven't seen a lot of that. They've been going to those outside hitters, whether it's Thomas or Swears or Kripe, but Owen's been a little more featured here in this third set. This time they go to Swears. Dump shot, almost gets it down. I think that's going to be 4 hits. Yep, that'll be 4 hits. But a great effort there from Bowling Green to almost get that one over.
Like you said, CMU not really going with that prototypical fast-paced offense that they like to run, throwing a couple wrinkles in there, going to the outside hitters a lot more consistently, and it's paid some dividends for them.
And a great little lucky play there. Hits the tape and flops over, but Abby Olin's going to say that was totally planned.
Love to say that was totally planned. It's unstoppable when it happens like that. Perfect serve.
They're also the most frustrating play if we're on the other side. Otten trying to get it back off the block. Jessica Andrews finds her way back into the scorer's column. Saw how efficient she was. Started off 5 for 5 in that first set, but now just 2 kills since.
CMU's done a lot better of a job taking her away. And Bowling Green, they've had to go to other players like Hobson. Otten's gotten a lot more kills than she normally has. It just shows the ability of this Falcon team, the out-team teams, to use everyone to be able to get these wins.
And getting that nice little rally off the big swing, and then another ace, that time from Avery Hobson. Knuckleball, a tough one again, and another ace for Avery Hobson. So her service is giving a little trouble here to CMU. And that's going to force a timeout after 2 straight aces. Avery Hobson just trying to will her Bowling Green team to a sweep. We're going to be back here for the rest of set 3. Will Bowling Green be able to finish it out? You never really know who's going to kind of dominate for Bowling Green because they just have so many players who can do it so well. Multiple players winning MAC Player of the Week honors.
Yeah, you see 3 different players. Bowling Green without Lauren Hovey today, too. We just see the depth that they have to be able to go to different players, and that's why they're so hard to plan for. You don't know what you're going to get. So many different players, so many different styles that they could use to attack you.
Hobson had 2 straight aces, but now CMU off the timeout gets a great answer. Izzy Swears once again, 11 kills there for Izzy. Fresh off 13 kills last night. She now serves it, goes at Hernandez. Back row attack from Hobson. Swears is there. Set up, Thomas blocks and goes out. Somehow Grace Thomas doesn't touch that. I know they are going to say that it was touched by Thomas. She was trying her best to backpedal out of the way, but let's take a look at that one. Big swing, blocked. And just her momentum might have hit off the knee or the foot. Couldn't quite see there, but they called it touched.
Yeah, hard to tell. You saw all the CMU players yelling, don't touch it, don't touch it. Thomas just trying to back up. Really had no shot to get back there and really made a great effort just to barely have a chance to avoid it.
Holy cripe, there she is. A big swing. That's what we've been seeing early on in the season. But finally getting a big swing there from Taylor Kripe.
And that's got to feel so good for Kripe. We've seen some frustration on her face. You saw her throw that fist pump, yell out into the air. It's got to feel so good and maybe build some confidence as she serves here.
It's that one over clean. A free ball from Bowling Green. Here comes the offense. Swears swings, blocked, and finds its way down. Big block there from Vopswavchik. Nice solo block from her. Again, she had a great game yesterday. 16 kills, 2 blocks. Not quite the same level of game from her here today, but only 4 kills in her second block as well on that one. Bozic sends it over. One of those international players Christina was talking about. On sets up to Vopswavchik. Kripe, a great effort. Even allowing CMU to get it over. Otten sets up Vopswavchik again. Again blocked. Back row attack. Goes just a touch long.
Great job by the CMU defense there. You saw Kripe with a diving effort. Some of the defenders on the front line with a few blocks, just not allowing Bowling Green to ever really get anything going. And the Chippewas are rewarded by getting that point.
Now just down by 1. Again, CMU trying to force the 4th set, but Vopswavchik has other plans for that. She's been kind of featured here in this 3rd set. They've been going at her a lot. That's her 19th total attack, her 5th kill. Anders now back to serve, the sophomore. Go at Langton. Great job getting up. Quick set there to Owen, but blocked. Set back up again. Anders there. Hobson swinging away. Blocked down. Great job from Mill.
Mill has been great up front all day. 4 block assists now on the day. Causing a lot of havoc up front and not allowing some of these balls and these shots to get over for the Falcons.
And then an ace for Keelan Mill. You mentioned Keelan Mill, not really a typical blocker for this team. Only had 13 blocks coming into this one, and you mentioned 4 already today. See if you get another ace. It's going to be tight on the net for Otten. Sends it over to Hobson. Off the net and just finds its way out. No touch. So 2 straight points there, or 3 straight points there for CMU.
One of the very few times we've seen CMU be able to tally on points on top of each other. Bowling Green has done a great job of just keeping that 1 to 2 point lead. The Chippewas take over that lead here.
Going to Hobson a lot. That time they're rewarded with a point. Hobson now in double digits with kills. Maybe not quite as efficient as you would like her, 10 of 31. But, I mean, she's been still getting it done regardless. A couple of aces as well. 16 kills against Eastern yesterday. So again, just another great effort from Hobson tonight. Mill, quick set and blocked from Wilford.
Wilford, a block there. She was named MAC Defensive Player of the Week on Monday. She's 5th in the MAC in blocks per set, and she shows it right there by just rejecting that shot and putting it down on the CMU side.
She read that one like a book and was able to easily block that one. I don't know if it's really such a thing to easily block an Abby Olin attempt. Tip to the net. Kind of a miss hit there off the block. Hobson blocked it and just trying to set it back up and just kind of looked like it fell off her fingertips.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication. Thought Otten was going to be in position, just was a little too far away, and a bad pass. CMU gets a bit of a break there.
And now tied up at 16 apiece. And then they give that point right back, just trading mistakes. Jessica Andrews checking back in for Bozic. Amanda on back to serve. Just barely getting over the net. Mill sets up to Swears. Blocked down. Wilford and Hobson are there. So there's the blocks we talked about. They've been so good so far this season. First in the MAC with 2.5 blocks per set. And now finally starting to get those blocks going.
Yeah, in this third set, they're starting to tally up on CMU. And you feel when those blocks happen, the momentum just starts to build on that Bowling Green bench.
And the momentum builds with an ace as well. Amanda Otten getting another one. And no surprise after that, get a timeout from Coach Ariel Wilson. And what do you think Coach Wilson's message is going to be in that huddle?
First, just got to calm down the girls. You go down 3 here in this set where if you lose it, this one's over. Not a whole lot of room for error, but just got to settle in and try and set up that offense, whether it's getting it to Grace Thomas on the outside or going back to that fast-paced offense. We were getting it to your middle blockers. In this third set, the Chippewas just haven't really been able to develop any sort of consistency, and of course, they got to limit the errors.
For sure. Take a look at all those blocks that Bowling Green has been getting this set. It's just been everybody kind of doing their part. Bob check there on that one. We saw a couple from Wilford, Hobson as well.
Like you said, it comes from everyone. It's not just one player on that Bowling Green side. It could be anyone at any time, whether it's solo blocks or 2 players going up and blocking it. It's just no shot is ever safe when you're going against this Falcon team.
And those blocks, when they stack up like that, they just kind of are so demoralizing as a hitter from the CMU side, and just trying to find some sort of energy and effort. We talked about the fatigue. It just seems like CMU's kind of not quite finding that right swing so far here in this third set.
Yeah, demoralizing for CMU, and then it's energizing for that other team. When they start piling on top of each other, you feel it. You hear it from that Falcon team and that Falcon bench. The Chippewas, maybe it's just got to be one play, something to get some energy on that side.
We'll see if that timeout works for CMU. See if they can trim back into that lead, down 3 here in the third set, trying to avoid the sweep. Swears, big swing, but Hernandez is there. Hobson, good job by Langton getting that one up. High set, Swears gets it down. The block not there that time.
Swears just been one of the few consistencies for CMU all day, getting that 13th kill, and just been so terrific this weekend so far.
Ties her total from yesterday with 13 kills. There's another swing there, that time from Andrews, gets it down.
Andrews had that great first set. We've seen CMU start to adjust a little bit, and the efficiency's gone down. But right there in these final moments of this third set, going back to one of your go-tos.
Trying to find that right offense to close this out. Swears off the block and down again. That one's actually her 13th kill, so now ties her total from yesterday.
Just been so terrific in conference play for the sophomore. 13 kills last night, like you said, answers that right back here today. Had her career high in kills last weekend against Western Conference play. She's really stepped up for CMU.
You kind of like to see that. You never know who's going to step up once MAC play starts, and it's been Izzy Swears so far for CMU. Tight on the net, Mill sets over. Kripe with a big swing.
Kripe starting to get into a rhythm here in this third set. Had some struggles early in the first 2 sets, but seen some of that power start to come out of her, some of those hard kills, those hard spikes, and then you see the energy from that CMU side.
I believe she just got her first kill about halfway through that second set, and now up to 5. Here's Vatswapchik. Set up. Thomas swings away. Blocked down again. Those big blockers. But CMU just has no answers for them.
It's just so tough if you're CMU, just trying to find that opening, and it feels like every time you set up a pass, there's 2 Bowling Green defenders right there that you got to get it through, and especially with the height and the length that these Falcons defenders have, it's so hard to get a shot over them.
Bowling Green, just 4 more points needed to close them out. Kripe, big swing, and finds the line. Taylor Kripe finally getting it going.
That's why she's the team leader in kills coming into this game. Like we said, the struggles, but when the teams needed it most in this third set, she started to come through.
See if she goes with the power serve or just trying to get it over. Just sends it over, knuckleball. Hits off the post and goes out. So free point there for Bowling Green.
And those service errors have started to pile up a little bit for CMU. That's their 9th of the game. It's what hurt them yesterday against Toledo. The only good thing for CMU yesterday was the Rockets were doing the same thing back at them. Bowling Green, though, they've been a lot more efficient on the serves with only 4 errors to their own.
Making sure that ball gets in play. Bozic sends it over. Mills sets up. Raymond on the far side. Blocked, but out. Blockers there again, but point does go to CMU. Even those ones where you would still get blocks, they still aren't that satisfying. Even though you get the point, it's just still a little frustrating seeing that block.
For sure, you just don't get the same energy as one of those hard hits or one of those aces that we just see right there.
That'll bring a little energy as 2 straight points now and then a timeout. Bowling Green wants to finish this out. They don't want this to go to a 4th set, but CMU doing a good job of trying to force that little action. We're going to at least see it be a 3-point match or set here again. All 3 sets have been super close, but Bowling Green just been able to finish them out.
Yeah, that's what good teams do. They finish those close sets, those close games. That's what's really plagued CMU so far this season in conference play. Just losing those close, tough sets, losing those 5-set matches. Now they put themselves in a hole. They really got to find that grit and dig deep and win this 3rd set.
They've gotten 2 points in a row, so momentum a little bit on their side. We'll see if that helps them push three more straight points, where Bowling Green will be able to close it out. But again, Bowling Green have just been so dominant on the road. 12 straight victories in MAC play, again, dating back all the way to 2023. And we mentioned earlier just normally how well CMU plays here. 8-1 last year in McGurk Arena. And just you see how good Bowling Green is on the road, though.
And it's just so shocking to see a team be so successful on the road, but you see the composure on the Bowling Green side. Anytime CMU's went on a run, it really hasn't fazed them. They've responded right back with points of their own. And that consistency and that reliability is what takes you to be able to win games and go on the road to win games.
But that's going to be a nice little momentum swing again. Ace for Grace Thomas again. Can CMU force the 4th set? They've scored 3 straight, just need 2 more. Thomas goes to Hobson. Bozic sends it over. Mill to Schweers. Now Vatswapchik. Right back on the side of Bowling Green. Dumped over. Still up in the air, somehow getting it over. Great job from CMU. Here's Vatswapchik again off the block. Mill sets up back row attack. Nice little rally here. Vatswapchik trying to finish it out. She can't. Here's Raymond. Nobody wants to give up this point, and it's eventually given up. BG ties it up.
Both sides not giving an inch either way. Back and forth rally so long, and Bowling Green gets the point after that touch from CMU. And those long rallies, those are the ones that are just demoralizing when you lose them.
Now it becomes who can score 2 straight points. Here's Owen trying to get one. She can't. Otten will set up. Quick set and down. Kendall Williams, a big swing, and now set and match point for Bowling Green.
Beating CMU at their own game, going with that quick set to the middle that Bowling Green hasn't used a lot, but they get that point right there with it.
So can Bowling Green finish them out here, or will we see some extra play here in set 3? They finish it out. Bowling Green sweeps the Chippewas as they are now 4-0 in MAC play.
Unbelievable from Bowling Green, their 400th MAC win in program history. Just such a great team, such consistency in all 3 sets, very competitive on both sides, but the Falcons finish them out and get the sweep over CMU.
Yeah, CMU just losing by a combined 8 points. Just tough for CMU to close that out, but again, congrats to Bowling Green, now 4-0 in MAC play, 5 of the last 6 seasons. For Christina Fusco and Jackson Bickers, I'm Jacob Tenson. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been CMU Volleyball against Bowling Green.